Want to just go right to questions? Got to have a good practice today, good practice tomorrow, and get ready for a very, very, very talented, long, athletic LSU team.
I guess just look at the LSU tape from before. Cause it was
Would rather not.
had the close but no cigar. I guess the rebounding was the whole really difference in the game, wasn't it, as far as?
Yeah. I mean, obviously rebounding's been a factor for us all year long, and certainly against LSU, that was our worst rebounding. It's the worst rebounding game I've ever been a part of. So we certainly have to do a better job on the defensive backboards, and we'll continue to drill it and try to solve that equation the best we can, but got to rebound better.
Coach Mason was named league conference player of the week for the fourth time today. Like, in your eyes, how legit is his case for league player of the year? Are you even worried about thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. I mean, if he got it, it'd be great, but certainly there's a lot of really good players in this league and a lot of players that are on teams that are in higher position in the standings than we are. But he's had an incredible year without a doubt.
What was kind of the team psyche on the flight back, and maybe your interaction with the players over the last couple of days, knowing that, hey, you probably got to make a run in the SEC tournament now to get to where you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody in college basketball has the same goals. I've kind of said that over and over. We didn't do anything yesterday. I mean, we took completely off. So the guys are just kind of trickling in now as I walked over here from class. So our first real interaction since our last game will be when we practice right after this. Certainly the way that we started the game down 14-0 is not the way you want to start it. And how that happens when we got off to our best start the game prior. Consistency, I brought it up after our last game. You know, you got to approach a game from a consistency standpoint. I'm trying to do everything I can. You know, the Major League Baseball, the Tampa Rays have a philosophy of the opener where they start a middle reliever instead of a true starting pitcher. So maybe I can somehow try to convert their thought process of having an opener, and we can have that same thing basketball with our starting lineup, because certainly the way we started last game was not the way you want to start a basketball game on the road and get down 14-0.
You got senior night coming up. Just what do you think about the year that Jimmy and Adrio have had? And Jimmy, you know, coming back, that's a pretty cool story, and Adrio always brings the energy. What do you thought about those guys? Yeah,
I think those two guys have had great years. Obviously, when you think about player development type thing or a player improving, and you know, Adrio was 2 for his career from three-point land. I think he's made 16 threes, or roughly 16 threes. That's a dramatic improvement at 41%. You know, both those guys have basically been in the starting lineup for us all year. They both had, you know, good, solid senior career, you know, senior seasons. Jimmy's done a great job, obviously, from a defensive standpoint for us all year, and has kind of picked his spots from an offensive standpoint, depending on the matchups in the game.
Waterford was a big factor last time. What do you all try and do differently on him?
Waterford?
Waterford, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can grow and get stronger between now and Wednesday. He's prototypical player who's a 3-4 hybrid who creates mismatches because he can put the ball on the deck, he can post up. He's a great rebounder. He's really physical. He's tough. He's a great freshman for sure, and a very difficult matchup for us.
Yeah, just parlaying off of that, their skill level as a whole, just could you talk about how difficult they are, why they've been such a good team this year?
Well, they have 2 senior guards that are really experienced, in Javonte Smart and Skylar Mays. They have a great freshman in Waterford who's a really difficult matchup. Days is a difficult matchup because he can knock down threes, and he killed us on the glass. He might have had more rebounds than our whole team. And then Williams is a fantastic player with his second jump and his reaction to loose balls. I mean, this is, in my opinion, it's one of the most talented teams in the entire country.
Yeah, you said Saturday about your big man being in foul trouble is just another verse of that. I know it's been frustrating, but Adriel in particular has fouled out, I think, 3 games in a row. I mean, what do you got to do?
Well, I mean, I think as a coach, what you can do is you can send players tapes, video clips. You can sit down with them individually. Your assistants can sit down with them individually. You can show them statistics on paper. So I think if you show them stats on paper, where you rank nationally, where you rank fouls per minute in the league, here's where you're getting your fouls, you hope that it somewhat becomes correctable. Our message has not gotten through, I guess, because we continue to foul at an incredibly high rate between Adriel, Reggie, and Ethan on a nightly basis. So all we can do is continue to try to show them and teach them. You got to do your work early as a defender. You can't react to the offensive player. You've got to have your knees bent. So that, we're going to keep coaching, keep talking about it, keep pointing out strengths in each player's game, and keep pointing out points of emphasis to get better, all the way until the very last buzzer of the last game.